Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Brent. That's Bryce. We're already talking about stuff, and we should have already began probably as we got going. Anyway, this is episode 37. Thanks
38?
for coming along with us. 38. He's right. It is episode 38. Either way, I appreciate it. And probably Bryce. Thanks for watching.
13 subscribers? Did you see that?
Currently. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means this month we gained one.
You know what? By like our
months,
400th month, we'll have
23.
400 subscribers.
Yeah, that's a lot of
assuming
months.
that they hang around.
That's a lot of months.
It's a few years.
A lot of years. Yeah.
Yep.
But
But
hey,
it's
you
a
gotta have
steady
goals.
incline. That's right.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you want to talk about?
So
Stripes.
I think we're going to talk about bags. Bags. I've got a bag here that I just dropped and broke stuff. Little, I don't know if you call it. It's a small camera bag. Bag. Say the whole word, Brent.
What is that? That's that's more of a sling style.
Yeah.
And then that's a
and this is a typical
style.
backpack
Who makes that one?
that I throw my
Looks like Timbuktu or something like that.
Van Cropak.
Oh, okay. Is it an Amazon special?
Cropak. It was in fact an Amazon
Okay.
special. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of them that are on the Amazon. That are on
well,
the
a lot of
Amazons.
backpacks look the same anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so these are the two here. We can talk about these. You said you have some issues with bags, and not so much issues with bags in general. Like you're not prejudiced against them, but having trouble finding the right one. It sounds like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes. Any other questions?
Affirmative. Okay.
I have a lot of bags, and it's because, as I mentioned to you earlier, I can't find a bag that's better than my current bag, my main bag. But there has to be something out there that's better than my current bag. The current bag is this guy. Let me hold it up here. It's by OGIO. OGIO.
That's a big dude right there.
Yeah, she's kind of a beast. It's called the Renegade RSS 17. So, and that's what it says somewhere over there. You can probably maybe see that on the side there. And it has a little hard shell case at the top. I think we've talked about this in the past. I don't remember. Maybe I did a whole video on it.
Not on a recording. Yeah.
It has a laptop sleeve here, which is one of my favorite features. That's also one of the things that I can't find other laptops that have better features in other ways that don't have this, which is it's a hard shell for the laptop. And it has like a bungee system. So the bottom of this doesn't actually go the full distance to the bottom of the bag. There's about 2 inches that it's shy. And so if I could just drop the laptop in here, it kind of just bounces, it kind of catches it. And then if if I have the bag and I go to set it on the ground, maybe I drop the bag a little harder than normal or something, because I'm not really rough with my stuff. This is about 5 years old now. It looks fairly brand new. A little dirty. It's probably vacuum it, but it doesn't damage the laptop. And because it has a hard shell case, what's inside the actual pack itself and then my back, it doesn't squish it. I've actually had a few bags. You throw something in there, and if the screen isn't really reinforced very well, it could do some work on that screen. A lot of these newer thin and light laptops, they have that problem. Back in the day when things were that thick, you just put straps on the laptop. You don't even need to have. But now they're so thin and so delicate. But what I'm looking for is this bag with. It's really hard to say upgraded components because, again, it's 5 years old. It looks, for the most part, brand new. And I don't have any holes in it. I don't have any other issues. Being that I do kind of carry it when there's, what feels like 50 pounds worth of stuff. The strap is held up. The strap's not terribly comfortable. Maybe that's part of step one, problem number one. It's good, but I would like it to be a little more rigid right through the center so it doesn't collapse, on itself over the weight. This zipper has always been a pain in the rear end for the hard shell. That's where like your sunglasses go. In my case, let's see, I have a battery pack. I have some French vanilla chai tea. I have an audio cable. I've been looking for that. Found it.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see what do I have in here. Some Altoids. I have, these are pretty cool. I should do just a video on these things. I don't know how focused that is. I'll throw a picture up on the screen. And I think I'm going to not say that anymore. When I'm editing these, I don't really watch them detailed enough to remember. So I'm probably saying that a lot, or you're saying that a lot, and I'm just not doing it.
Right.
So, but I'll try to remember. It's early in the video. I'll probably know. So I'll try to put these up there. Like a pack of 10 or 20 or 50 or whatever it was, these little hooks with rings on them. Man, they are, I use them everywhere. They're on all my keys. They're on some utility bracelets and whatnot. This is a Dell USB-C to network adapter. I've got a Rode 3.5 millimeter TRRS to TRS adapter. More mints, because that halitosis, you don't have that. Let's see, what is this? A lightning to HDMI adapter. The yellow reminds everyone that it's mine. And then at the bottom,
because nobody else will want it.
I don't even know what that. Oh, this is a. I should be careful with that. There's a razor on there.
How big are your sunglasses? My goodness, that's a big old spot for sunglasses.
Little stunner shades. Those Hollywood. I live near Hollywood, so.
There you go. Big bug eyes. We call them bug eyes in the Midwest.
I don't want anybody to recognize me. So, and this is just a wire stripper, and then you can use it to punch down cables as well, phone or data. I actually don't use it, but this is with me if I forget the actual tool that I have for this. Anyways, I didn't really mean to show the components of everything, but me, I get carried away and excited. This is a great cable, by the way. Little super slim right angle to through.
Now the Rode one, I thought the Rode one was red and black. The one you showed was, maybe the Rode's gray and black. Is that right?
Yeah, gray and black. Yep.
Okay. Because I bought a red and black one and it didn't work. But anyway, that's getting off topic. So go ahead, sorry.
So the zipper is a pain in the rear end, and when you're in the main compartment, it's right here. So it does take up some of the space. If I were to not use it, it doesn't matter. It's still taking up space. This whole black on black scenario, and a lot of the stuff I own is black. It's one of the main reasons I got a little pocket flashlight, because I can't see anything in here. This room's pretty light. Plus I have some lights on me, so that helps. But and I don't know about you. I like to carry this stuff with me. Pineapple tidbits.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
No, I actually I forgot it was in here. This is supposed to be for my lunch.
Yummy.
And then a shirt from a conference rolled into a disc. I got all sorts of silly stuff. That's why it's so heavy. I forget the stuff's in here. But anyways, that's part of the problem. It's such a huge cavernous area that I tend to fill it, right? And then when we go on vacation, this is the bag I take, but it's empty, but it still looks gigantic. It doesn't collapse on itself. And when it's full and I set it on the ground, it falls over. It's forward heavy. It doesn't have that flat hard shell or whatever it would need to kind of stay upright. So, and I have some bags that do that, but they're missing other things. The size. This is super, super comfortable. I'm not a small guy. The straps are too short. So when they go over, they're already extended as far as they can go. Let me hold up a little higher because I don't know where I'm going to crop it. These are already extended, but that's where I need to wear it comfortably. So it's not too loose. There have been times where I pull it tighter, but that's if I feel I need to walk briskly. And so I just put these little paracord situations on there so I can wrap my thumb in and kind of just pull. And of course, I have
question.
What everyone has.
I
don't want to get sidetracked. Hold on. I have a whistle, security whistle.
Oh,
very important. Go ahead.
Can't never be too careful.
No.
This is a useless question probably for most people, but are you a single shoulder guy, or do you wear it over both shoulders using both straps?
It's a valid question. I would say 60 to 70% single shoulder, And then depending on what's in it, or if I don't want to take the backpack off because I'm going somewhere, bringing my paraphernalia with me just in case I need it, but I find out I don't need it while I'm there and I can do something quickly, then I just leave it on. So therefore it's on both shoulders. So, there's a good amount of time. I am big enough and old enough looking to where I don't need to worry about looking like a kid, looking like one of the students. We do have some people in my department that I work with that, throwing a backpack on and walking into a school site. Yard narcs are like, "Get to class, what are you doing?" So I don't have that problem. They're like, broken computers over there. Apparently I look like a nerd. They know exactly every time I walk in. But anyway, so that's the OGO Renegade RSS 17. I don't think they make it anymore. They make another, or they still make the Renegade version, I think. If they stopped making it, it's only been a couple years. And OGO makes fantastic stuff. It was a little pricey, but like I said, I've had it for 5 or more years. Got it on sale at Kohl's website. Ruth had some. My wife had some Kohl's Cash, which is apparently like crack to women, and so
yes,
we were able to use that and get that taken care of. But so that's my thing, and I've got over here that I keep a lot of this camera stuff in. It doesn't really travel much. It's just a way to keep it all in one spot. It's a really thin. Either I got it or someone else got it at a conference, a tech conference, education tech conference. And so I use that to throw a bunch of the tech gear or the camera gear into, again, not for travel so much because it's really thin, but just to keep it all in one spot. I have a couple slings at home. I've got a Maxpedition sling, and it's a little smaller than I'd like. One of the reasons I don't take it with me everywhere, but when I do maybe some construction work around the house or somewhere, I have my tool belt, but I also bring that with a few extra stuff that's in it.
You said you have a few slings. Do they fit? Because this sling here, I've never actually used it crossbody because, us twins, similarly shaped, size-wise, even if we were in good shape, we're not tiny people.
What do you mean
they don't make them really. They don't. All right, watch it. They don't make them for folks that are above 200 pounds and above 6 feet, it seems.
Yeah.
Because the straps are just too small.
No, that's correct. That's a problem I have when I'm looking online at backpacks, which I do probably more often than I would like to admit. I always have to investigate. Like if it's a dude, if it's a woman wearing the backpack, forget it. I don't even look anymore because they're going to try to find someone who looks good with the backpack. So,
all right.
That means they're tiny. But if there's a guy, sometimes it's deceiving.
Right.
It's deceiving. Okay. There's a couple other words, and I was mixing all of them together. But there's a website called LA Police Gear or something like that .com, and they have a lot of things that are inexpensive and cheap sometimes. But they have a guy on there. He looks like just there's no scale. He looks like he's probably like this big guy. Like if he was a policeman on the street, you'd be, ooh, wow, I don't want him to try to take me down because he probably would. But and not to say that smaller guy's good, but then you go in and somewhere on the page it talks about the models and how big they are. And this guy apparently is like 5'7". So I was like, oh, I really want that backpack. And it looks like it's a good size, proportional and everything. No, if I were to wear it, it'd look like I'd be wearing a preschooler's backpack. And I've had that problem before. I bought a backpack, didn't check the size. And I remember I used to read on my scooter, a yellow jacket, love that thing. And I remember
not kidding.
When Micaiah saw me riding away, the backpack was on. I said, hey, how'd you like the new backpack? And he was like, Dad. And he was probably like 6, 7 years old. It's a little small. He said it looked like I was wearing like a little square in the middle of my back.
Say My Little Pony in the top corner of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not shy. I'm very secure. But that is a valid problem. Like I said, this one here, I've got another backpack that was $200, $300, and I don't use that often. It's actually sitting under my desk, full of audio equipment. And the backpack straps are so long, when they're finally comfortable, the ends are still slapping up against my knees. And it's like, well, who in the world is this for? Admittedly, that is the backpack that Questlove from the Roots uses, and he's quite a large dude. So you never know. Maybe that was thrown in there. But anyways, so that's my dilemma. Kind of a interesting / pointless conversation, but sometimes those are the most fun. I enjoy them all. But if this here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this backpack with a little more rigidity, but not too much, like those Maxpedition backpacks. Holy smokes. It's like one step before a plastic case. Like they collapse, but you have to push on them. They just hold their shape. They're super strong. So not that rigid. That alone would make this backpack 5 pounds without anything in it. But a little more, maybe towards the bottom to hold its shape. There's some tools. I don't remember who makes it, but they sell them at Lowe's or Home Depot. The very bottom is almost like a bucket. It just has a hard, looks like a car tire, and it goes up the sides about an inch or two, but then you can set it down no matter what's at the top. You got this, you're sitting on this protective surface. Something similar, not exact, but similar to that would be kind of neat. Maybe a slightly more rigid handle with D-rings or something to give it some swing. Longer straps, but longer as in 4, maybe 5 inches. That said, if I get any bigger, then I'll want 4 or 5 more inches, but as I am right now. And then the inside, I wish the inside was a red or an orange or a yellow, a baby blue, anything that's contrasty. Because again, you throw stuff in there and it just disappears into the ether because you can't see it.
I've seen a lot of bags that have that red or maybe orange inside there, a dark burnt orange or whatever. But
yeah,
they do seem to be a little on the pricier side when you get into those bags that are using that stuff. But yeah, all the bags that I've ever had are just cheap run-of-the-mill bags. I do like the idea of the larger bags, but I don't have a business need. Like you yourself, you're carrying things that you can potentially use throughout the day. For me, I do use, of course, what's in the bed, yes. I do use what's in there, but it's not, if I forget it, it doesn't really change my day too much. Like my wallet's in my pants, pocket. And just got to be clear on that.
At the store.
Besides,
hold on, let me unbuckle and get my wallet.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
At the store, everybody's like, all right, everybody down. The laptop, not laptop, although there is a spot for the laptop, that's where I put my iPad because it's the size of a laptop. 13, I think a 15-inch wouldn't fit in here. That's the size. I'll give you an idea of the size of this bag. It's not real big. I was thinking, I think I saw 20 inches, so the size of this, top to bottom, 20 inches. And I was wanting a 24, but, when it's late and you're not thinking straight, I got the wrong size. But I'm still fine with it because I don't wear it. I don't never wear it. Two double shoulder, however you'd say that. It's always over one, or I'm using this. It just has a very typical, was that nylon strap or whatever. Nothing fancy there.
Right.
But for my needs, is no protection really. I mean, I haven't dropped it from a high, but drop it from like 4 inches, and drop is even not the right word to use, but just lay it down quickly, and you can hear the iPad kind of hit the ground. You're like, because I don't have a huge case on that iPad, so
I cringe just hearing that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cushion. I do not think that cushion extends to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
So I have actually thought about taking a little strip of foam and shoving it down there at the bottom to give it a little bit of something. But
it's a good idea if you have space to do it. This laptop or this bag says it fits a 17-inch, but no. I had a 17-inch, maybe a 17-inch 4x3. I had a 17-inch MacBook here at work around the time I first got the bag, and no, you had to kind of force the zipper up over the edge, and you could still see the bag was now in the shape of the laptop because it was too big. Right. And currently the Surface Book 2, which is almost 16 inches, the screen.
Wow.
I would say that's like the perfect size for that laptop in this bag. They were made for each other. And there's another, little side point. The Surface Book 2, maybe we'll talk about this another day. And there's some things that every time I want to love it more, something happens that just, so, I know you're not going to do this, so I'll tell you, take some notes, write it down. We can talk about that next time. Some interesting things about a new Bluetooth device that I got, how that's affecting my computer, as well as some issues with, and I don't know if it's the Surface Book or Windows 10, but you think Microsoft would put some sort of patch in there. Anywho, in those updates, those updates, what did I say? Windows?
No, you said Microsoft. I said
okay.
just, well, it's Microsoft, so it's
that's
what
true.
you can expect, yeah.
But those forced Windows updates all the time, it's all too often that these updates actually cause problems, and you're going to force them on us.
Right.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, we've had some of those updates break some of the applications, and again, I've said in the past, applications is a little too big of a word. Microsoft Access database applications, but they've had some typical updates, and of course, where I work, the security team kind of vets the because we're still on Windows 7, the patches before they get rolled out.
Yeah.
But they're not checking it against everything in the bank. They're just checking it for security and whatnot. So it just rolls out, and then we've had some break other Microsoft products, including the Access stuff.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's silly. But I mean, I know it's difficult to fully make sure that what you're sending out is going to work across the board, but I don't know. I'm not going to get into that business, and that's one of the reasons why. But anyways, the other backpack that you have, the Sling, I used to have that similar, maybe even the same bag, but similar, maybe older version. I had it back when Micaiah was a kid. Micaiah, my son, was even smaller. And I have to tell you, man, it was strong. It was who makes the
It's going to focus.
is it
focus
Low
on
Pro?
me.
Is it a Low Pro?
No, this was Altura.
Okay.
It's probably a knockoff brand Amazon
Yeah. Could be.
model,
So-
but it's okay.
It looks just like that, but it was a Low Pro. Got it at B&H or somewhere. And when we'd go to like the zoo or something, I wouldn't fill it with camera gear. It's a camera bag. But I would fill it with waters and like granola bars. And then when Micaiah, as long as he was small enough, when he got tired, I would pull it around to the sling, to the like where you're going to actually pull out your camera. And then that would be his seat. He would just kind of sit there, and then I would just put my arm around him so he doesn't, fall off. But and that strap
must be a pretty good. Yeah, I was going to say a very strong strap on that thing.
strap never ripped. The fabric never looked like it was getting torn or weak. And I had it all the way up to probably a year, maybe 6 months ago, and I gave it to a guy that I work with because he got a new camera, and it was just sitting at home in my bag corner. That I'm sure will be dwindling soon because what is today? The 31st, August 31st. Hopefully we'll be moving within the next couple months. So I'm sure as much as we've already pared back, we'll be paring back even more. And I don't know how many of these bags will get to make it. I might have to bring them here to work just to hide them.
Yeah, I do like this bag, even though it is, I'm not going to talk about this side too much because, again, I don't use it in a sling. I just throw it over a shoulder. It just has a small top spot for just small items.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a camera section where there are some dividers that you can separate and move around to fit what you want. Basically, one there, and then a bigger area to kind of fit camera and lens. But the T6i, Canon T6i is what I throw in here, and it is typically small enough that I have a lens, a small lens, the little LED light, and then the T6i still fits here in the middle.
Wow.
With a smaller lens on it. Like if I put the 24 millimeter lens on it, that makes for a, small enough to fit in there. But these other side things, it's got, this right here is supposed to be, you can put a tripod there, slide one of the feet there, or a monopod to hold it there. I've never used it for that. Another little hole here to slide a monopod or whatever in. And there's not a whole lot to it. I didn't pay a lot for it. It was just, I wanted to get something to take the camera around, but not, those old school camcorder style little lunchbox looking camera bags.
Yeah.
Because we had one from back in the day. I had a little Canon camera, camcorder style camera, mini DV cam, and I just was using that at first just to have something so that I didn't drop it or whatever. But anyway, it's been completely fine for what we use it for. So it's nice enough, but nothing fancy, not super protected. There's nothing hard in it to give you any really.
But it has some padding
good
in the.
security if you drop it.
Has some padding though, right?
There's definitely some padding. Yeah, there's definitely some padding, especially on the part if you have it over your body between you and the camera. But outside of that, it is a thicker nylon, I guess it is.
How much time do
But
you?
again, even we got about 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of padding rather throughout the rest of it. So, but again, it's not like we're going to be throwing it around. I know it's in it. I'm not chucking it around to get it to a spot. It's being set down and handled appropriately.
Yeah, that's the anomaly. If you're carrying it, or in my case, if I'm carrying mine, I know what I'm doing with it. Sometimes I do ask my kids, "Hey, can you go grab my laptop? I left it downstairs, or I left it over there," and I'm just lazy, so I want them to do it for me. But they're so, "Oh, Dad," so then they grab and they carry and they just like drop it right at my little feet, and
All right.
great, thanks. So now I really appreciate that little sling situation, especially if I'm using my work laptop. I don't want to damage that. She's a little pricey, but
A little bit.
I am looking into one day. Project may never come, but maybe making my own bag. So we'll see if that day ever comes or gets close. I'll definitely keep you in the loop. But take all of the bags that I have, build I want a camera, a bag, like a normal backpack that has the ability to put a tripod or a monopod on the side. Mine I can right now, but I've got to use like the water bottle zipper side, but then I don't have a strap at the top to hold it in. So there's a minor wish list of things. One of these days, we'll see. And maybe it's out there I just don't know about. But I don't want to spend $300 on a bag. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Unless it works money.
Well, if you're keeping it for a long time, then that's understandable. But I don't know.
I'd rather spend $300 on other things, though.
We've got 1 minute left. I've got a JanSport bag, just an old school JanSport bag. Back when we were 19 years old, our friend Jason got it for me before I moved to New York. I still have that bag. That's when you actually put books in a book bag, and that's all it is, just a leather bottom and canvas top or whatever. But it's in great shape even today, so they can last a long time.
Yeah.
But we're running out of time at this point. Maybe we can discuss some additional details of bags that we want next time, or you'll have to send me a text about what you said to write down because I've already forgotten. But
watch the video.
Either way. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll have to watch our own video. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Ciao.
Nice chatting with you, Bryce.
Always.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.